A lot of people think AI winners are decided by who builds the fastest chips, but what really determines whether AI can actually scale is the layer most people ignore, the infrastructure underneath it. And today's company might be sitting at one of the most critical, yet most underestimated positions in the entire AI stack. Hey everyone, welcome back to Stock Market Breakdown. Today we're not talking about Nvidia or AMD, we're breaking down a much quieter name in the AI space, but one that may be more important than most people realize: Marvell Technology. Marvell doesn't build AI's brains, it builds what allows the entire system to run fast, stable, and at scale. In this video, I'll show you where Marvell really stands today and why it matters. Let's clear up a common misconception first. The AI revolution is not just a compute race. In real-world data centers, AI is a system problem, but handle the computation. But before and after that, massive amounts of data need to move, be stored, synchronized, and delivered with extremely low latency and high energy efficiency. That's the layer Marvell operates in. Marvell is a semiconductor company founded back in 1995. Its core focus isn't processors, it's data movement and connectivity. Wireless processors, Ethernet switching, storage controllers, custom silicon. None of that sounds flashy, but these are the components that determine whether AI data centers actually function efficiently. If a cloud platform feels fast, stable, and responsive, there's a good chance Marvell's technology is quietly working behind the scenes. Put simply, Nvidia and AMD build the engines, Marvell builds the highways. So this is the first key takeaway: Marvell isn't the loudest name in AI, but it sits at one of the most foundational and unavoidable layers of the AI stack. And the next move is why the market has started paying attention again. In early December, Marvell announced the acquisition of Celestial AI, and this move is extremely important. What Marvell picked up here is photonic fabric, or optical interconnects technology. As AI architecture scale across racks and entire data centers, traditional copper connections are becoming a bottleneck. Bandwidth limitations, rising latency, and higher power consumption all slow down AI training and inference. Optical interconnects solve that problem by delivering higher bandwidth at lower power with far lower latency. This isn't optional for next generation AI data centers, it's a requirement. Marvell's own expectations are very clear. This technology has the potential to generate close to $1 billion in annualized revenue by fiscal 2029. That's not a research experiment, it's now part of Marvell's long-term growth roadmap. At the same time, the financials are starting to confirm that AI isn't just the future story anymore. In the third quarter, revenue grew 37% year-over-year to a record $2.01 billion. Data center revenue alone contributed roughly $1.05 billion, or more than 70% of total sales. Even more important, the company moved from losses to strong profitability. Gross margins are above 50%. And operating cash flow is solid. This part really matters. It tells us Marvell didn't just pick the right direction, it's now converting AI demand into real profits. But the real moat goes even deeper. One of the biggest constraints in modern AI data centers isn't compute, it's power and heat. Marvell's integrated voltage regulation solutions move power management from the motherboard level directly closer to the chip. That shift dramatically reduces energy loss, in some cases by more than 80%, and supports ultra-high power platforms exceeding 4 kilowatts per rack. What does that mean in practice? It means more compute density in the same physical space at lower operating costs for hyperscalers. This directly improves total cost of ownership, and that's where real long-term value is created. On top of that, Marvell continues to expand globally. Its large R&D hub in Vietnam now employs over 500 engineers, helping reduce costs while strengthening long-term supply chain and talent stability. This is the type of move you see from companies thinking several years ahead. So Marvell's strength isn't one single breakthrough. It's a layered system advantage built piece by piece. But no company comes without risks. There's another angle that often gets overlooked. And it's critical as AI scales. The biggest customers no longer want generic solutions, they want deeply customized, system-level designs. Hyperscalers care less about any single chip being faster and more about how the entire data center performs in terms of power efficiency, latency, reliability, and scalability. That's exactly where Marvell excels. Marvell's custom silicon platforms integrate directly into customer architectures, working alongside networking, storage, and power management. Once embedded, switching costs become extremely high. This isn't a one-off product sale. It's a long-term partnership. That's why Marvell continues to show up inside the core infrastructure of major cloud and AI data center deployments. This is what makes Marvell more of a system-level partner than a typical component supplier. Marvell's biggest risk isn't technology, it's competition. Companies like Broadcom are extremely strong in custom AI silicon and data center interconnects. Marvell's progress can sometimes be overshadowed by louder names, even when execution is solid. And because Marvell operates at the core of AI infrastructure, competition in this space will only intensify. From a stock perspective, Marvell hasn't looked great over the past year, but over the last 3 months, shares are up more than 50%. Analyst sentiment has clearly shifted. A consensus of 35 analysts now rate the stock a strong buy, with price targets north of $150. So the conclusion is simple. Marvell isn't the flashiest AI stock, but it may be one of the most critical layers of AI infrastructure. If AI continues to scale, these quiet but essential companies often go further than people expect. There are competitive risks. So I'm watching this one closely, not chasing it emotionally. What do you think the AI superstars or the companies behind the system? Let me know in the comments. This is Stock Market Breakdown. I'll see you next time.